Under the canopy of a vast, azure sky, life had always unfolded quietly for Clara. Her small garden, bursting with vibrant blooms, was a sanctuary of solitude, a place where she buried her longing for connection beneath the soil of independence. She often thought of herself as a solitary flower, swaying in her own rhythm, far from the entangled lives of others. Yet, life had other plans for her. One fateful afternoon, in the golden glow of autumn, Clara's path crossed George's, a stranger with silver hair and a wisdom-laden gaze. He wasn't like anyone she'd met before. As they sat on the park bench amidst the rustling leaves, his voice carried stories, not of grandeur but of simple truths. "Life isn't meant to be lived alone," he had said, his words settling like seeds in her heart. George was more than a passerby, he became a guide, showing Clara the beauty she had turned away from for so long. His stories of connection and resilience were like sunlight breaking through a dense forest. He spoke of how relationships weren't chains but lifelines, threads that stitched joy and sorrow into the fabric of existence. Clara listened, her heart quietly awakening to a possibility she had long ignored. It was George's encouragement that brought Alex into her life. Clara met Alex at a community festival, a man whose gentle charm and thoughtful eyes reflected a similar longing for authenticity. They started as casual acquaintances, exchanging polite conversations over coffee. But as the days turned into weeks, their bond deepened into something profound. Alex taught Clara to embrace the world beyond her garden. Together, they explored hiking trails, shared quiet sunsets, and filled the spaces between them with laughter and understanding. For the first time in years, Clara felt the warmth of companionship, the kind that didn't demand but simply existed, a connection as natural as the blooming flowers in her garden. With Alex by her side, Clara began to welcome others into her life. Her once quiet garden became a lively sanctuary where stories were shared, meals were savored, and hearts grew closer. She met Elena and Mark, a young couple struggling to navigate the turbulent waters of love. Clara and Alex became their guiding light, offering the wisdom they had gathered from their own journeys. One evening, as the group sat beneath the stars in the glow of lanterns, Clara felt a sense of peace she hadn't known before. George's words echoed in her mind. True relationships are not just about sharing moments, they are about growing together, side by side. George's absence was felt deeply when he passed, but his legacy lived on in the connections he had inspired. Clara often visited the park bench where they first met, leaving small bouquets of flowers in his memory. Each visit reminded her of the importance of nurturing relationships and the joy they brought.